I posted an engagement announcement and my childhood neighbor commented, "That's my sister. She's already married." My fiancé grabbed my phone, blocked him immediately. Too late. I'd already seen the screenshots. She grabbed my phone so fast, she knocked over her wine glass. Merlot spread across the white tablecloth like a bloodstain. Neither of us moved to clean it up. We just stared at each other, me in shock, her in something I'd never seen on her face before. Fear. "Let me see that." Her voice was sharp. Wrong. Not the voice of a woman confused by a stranger's comment. The voice of someone caught. "Sarah, what?" She snatched the phone from my hand, started typing, blocking, deleting. Her fingers moved with the frantic precision of someone trying to erase evidence. "Baby, it's nothing. Just some crazy person trying to ruin our moment." But I'd already seen it. Derek Morrison. A name I hadn't thought about in 15 years. My childhood neighbor from Minnesota before my family moved to Oregon when I was 12. We'd played basketball in his driveway, built snow forts in his backyard. I'd gone to his sister's birthday party when I was 10. His comment on my engagement photo, "Dude, that's my sister Emily. She's already married. Call me ASAP." And before Sarah blocked him, before she deleted everything, I'd seen the notification preview of his follow-up comment. 3 screenshots, a wedding photo, a marriage certificate, a driver's license, all showing the woman sitting across from me. The woman I'd proposed to 6 hours ago. The woman whose real name apparently wasn't Sarah at all. Let me back up. My name is Marcus Chen, 31 years old, software engineer at a tech company in Portland. Normal life, normal job, normal everything. I met Sarah, or whoever she really was, 10 months ago at a coffee shop downtown. One of those meet-cute moments that feel too perfect to be real. Turns out, it was. She was sitting at the table next to mine, reading a book I'd just finished. Same obscure novel about a lighthouse keeper in Maine. I made a comment about the ending. She laughed. We talked for 3 hours. By the end of that first conversation, I was already falling. Sarah Thompson, 29 years old, graphic designer who worked remotely for clients across the country. Originally from California, she said. Moved to Portland 2 years ago for a fresh start after a bad breakup. She was beautiful, warm, funny. The kind of person who remembered small details and asked follow-up questions and made you feel like the most interesting person in the room. We dated for 8 months before I asked her to move in. She said yes immediately. Brought over 2 suitcases and a laptop. Didn't have much stuff, she explained. She'd sold most of it when she moved to Portland, traveling light. I thought it was charming, minimalist, a woman who didn't need material things to be happy. Now I realized she was ready to run at any moment. The red flags were there. They always are. I just didn't want to see them. First flag, she had no social media. I deleted everything after my ex, she explained when I asked. Too many memories, too much drama. I'm happier without it. I believed her, respected her digital detox, thought it was healthy. Second flag, she never talked about her family. We're not close, she'd say whenever I asked. They're back in California. We talk sometimes. It's complicated. I didn't push. Everyone has family issues. I figured she'd open up when she was ready. Third flag, she was vague about her past. No photos from college, no stories about childhood friends, no contact with anyone from before Portland. Her life seemed to start the day we met. I told myself it was privacy, that she was a private person, that some people just don't dwell on the past. Fourth flag, the phone calls. Sometimes late at night, her phone would buzz. She'd glance at it, then silence it without answering. Spam, she'd say. I need to block that number. But I noticed the way her jaw tightened when it happened, the way she'd be distracted for hours afterward. I told myself it was nothing. I was wrong about everything. The proposal was at sunset on the coast, Cannon Beach, her favorite spot. We'd driven out for a weekend getaway, and I'd had the ring in my pocket for 3 weeks, waiting for the perfect moment. I got down on one knee in front of Haystack Rock. The orange light made everything glow. She cried, said yes. We took photos, posted them immediately because I wanted the whole world to know. Biggest mistake of my life. We drove back to Portland that night, giddy and exhausted and making plans. Summer wedding, small ceremony, maybe a destination honeymoon. We stopped for dinner at our favorite restaurant. I posted the engagement photo while we waited for our food. Simple caption, she said yes. The congratulations rolled in. Friends from college, co-workers, family, and then Derek Morrison. Dude, that's my sister Emily. She's already married. Call me ASAP. 6 hours after the happiest moment of my life, everything fell apart. She handed my phone back after blocking Derek. The comment was gone, like it never happened. There, problem solved. Her smile was tight, forced. Now where were we? You said something about a summer wedding? Sarah. Yes? Why did you block him so fast? Because he's obviously some creep trying to ruin our happiness. People do that, you know. Jealous people, trolls. You can't let them. He's not a troll. He's Derek Morrison. I grew up next to him in Minnesota. Her face flickered, just for a second. Then the mask slid back into place. Well, he's clearly confused. Mistaken identity. He said you're his sister Emily, that you're already married. That's insane. My name is Sarah. You've seen my driver's license. You know me, did I? I need to use the bathroom, I said. Okay? She seemed relieved. I'll order dessert. I walked to the restroom, locked myself in a stall, pulled out my phone. Derek was blocked on my mobile app, but I had Facebook on my laptop at home. If he'd posted screenshots, they might still be there. I needed needed to see them, needed to know if I was crazy or if my entire relationship was built on lies. You okay in there? Sarah's voice outside the bathroom door. Yeah, just a minute. I flushed the toilet I hadn't used, washed my hands, looked at myself in the mirror. Please let this be a misunderstanding. Please let there be an explanation. Please let me not be engaged to a stranger. We drove home in near silence. Sarah filled the quiet with wedding chatter, venues, dresses, guest lists. I responded with single syllables, my mind racing. At home, I said I needed to check work emails. She said she was tired, going to bed early. I waited until I heard the bedroom door close. Then I opened my laptop. Derek's profile, his posts, the comment he'd left before Sarah blocked him. It was still there. Facebook hadn't removed it yet, and attached to it 3 images. I saved them immediately, downloaded them, emailed them to myself, took photos with my phone, made copies everywhere I could think of. Then I looked at what Derek had sent. First image, a wedding photo. Sarah, Emily, in a white dress, radiant, happy, standing next to a man I'd never seen before. Asian guy, tall, kind face. The caption read, Emily and James, June 14th, 2021, 3 years ago. Second image, a marriage certificate, state of Minnesota. Emily Marie Morrison, married to James Patrick Chen, same last name as me, different James. Third image, a driver's license, Minnesota. Emily Marie Morrison, date of birth, March 8th, 1995. Sarah's birthday was March 8th, 1995. She'd told me herself on our third date. I'd remembered it because it was the same day as my grandmother's birthday. We'd laughed about the coincidence. It wasn't a coincidence. It was the truth leaking through the lies. I searched Emily Morrison, Minnesota on Facebook. Nothing public. I tried Instagram. Found it immediately. Emily Chen. Bio. Wife, dog mom, Minneapolis life. Private account. But the profile photo was visible. It was her. Different hair. Shorter. Lighter. But the same face. The same smile. The same woman sleeping in my bedroom right now. I requested to follow the account. Knew it would probably alert her. Didn't care anymore. Then I messaged Derek. I need to know everything. Is she really your sister? His response came in 30 seconds. Yes, Emily is my sister. She's married to James Chen. They live in Minneapolis. What the hell is going on? She's in Portland. With me. She told me her name was Sarah Thompson. We've been together 10 months. I proposed today. Jesus Christ. Derek, I need to know everything. The typing indicator appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. James has been looking for her for 8 months. She disappeared last November. Just vanished. He filed a missing person report. Police couldn't find any trace. He's been going crazy. My blood went cold. She's not missing. She's been living with me since February. You need to call the police. Or call James. Someone needs to know she's alive. Does she know you found her? She saw my comment before your profile blocked me. She knows I know. I heard footsteps in the hallway. I have to go. I closed the laptop just as the bedroom door opened. Sarah stood there in her pajamas, watching me. Coming to bed? In a minute. Just finishing up. Everything okay? Yeah, just work stuff. She nodded, but she didn't move. Just stood there, studying my face like she was trying to read something. Marcus? Yeah, I love you. You know that, right? I know. Whatever happens, whatever anyone says, remember that I love you. She turned and went back to the bedroom. I sat there, staring at the closed door, trying to reconcile the woman I loved with the woman who'd been married to someone else this whole time. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I called in sick to work. Sarah was suspicious but didn't push. She had client meetings all day, or so she said. I watched her leave from the living room window, then immediately started investigating. First call, Derek. He answered on the first ring. Tell me everything, I said. He did. Emily Morrison had married James Chen in June 2021. They'd been together since college, happy by all accounts. James was an accountant. Emily worked as a freelance graphic designer. That part was true at least. Then, in November 2023, Emily disappeared. She left a note, Derek said. Said she needed time to find herself. Took her car, some clothes, and $12,000 from their joint savings. James woke up and she was just gone. Did anyone look for her? James filed a missing person report. But the police said she left voluntarily. There was the note, the withdrawal, no signs of foul play. They classified it as a voluntary missing person. Basically told James she'd left him and he needed to accept it. But she was still married. Still is. James never filed for divorce. He keeps hoping she'll come back. Explain. Something. Derek's voice hardened. Instead, she's in Portland, engaged to someone else. I thought about the last 10 months. Every kiss. Every I love you. Every plan we'd made together. All while she had a husband in Minneapolis waiting for her to come home. I need James's number, I said. You sure? This is going to destroy him. He deserves to know. Derek sent me the contact. I stared at it for a long time. Then I called. James Chen answered on the 4th ring. Hello? His voice was tired. The voice of a man who'd stopped expecting good news. James, my name is Marcus Chen. I'm calling about your wife. Silence. Then, barely a whisper. You found her? Yes, she's in Portland, Oregon. She's been living with me for 8 months. More silence. I heard him breathing, ragged, trying to process. Living with you? What do you mean? She told me her name was Sarah Thompson. We've been dating since February. I proposed to her yesterday. I didn't know she was married. I didn't know anything. Oh God! His voice cracked. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. She's alive. She's alive and she's been with someone else this whole time? James, I know this is a lot, but I need to tell you something else. What? She She knows. Her brother Derek saw my engagement post and commented. She blocked him, but she knows her cover is blown. I think she might run again. He was crying now. I could hear it. She can't. Not again. I've been going crazy for 8 months. I need to know why. I need to see her. Come to Portland, I said. Tomorrow. I'll send you my address. But you need to do exactly what I say, or she'll disappear again. Okay, whatever you need. And James, you should probably bring a lawyer. I spent the rest of the day gathering evidence, not because I didn't believe Derek and James, but because I needed to understand, needed to know how deep the deception went. Sarah had been living with me for 6 months. In that time, she'd built an entire fake identity. I found her Sarah Thompson driver's license in her wallet. Oregon State. Looked completely legitimate. Same address as my apartment. I searched Oregon DMV records, couldn't access them officially, but a friend who worked for the state did me a favor. That license number doesn't exist in our system, he said. It's a fake driver's license. Professional quality. I checked her other documents. The social security card she'd shown me when we opened a joint savings account, also fake. The bank hadn't caught it. $8,000 of my money was in that account. Money she could access any time. I transferred everything out that afternoon. Left $1 so the account would stay open. Evidence. Then I called a lawyer. Patricia Okafor, family law attorney, 22 years of practice, specializing in fraud and bigamy cases. A colleague had recommended her. This is more common than you'd think, she said after I explained the situation. People living double lives, maintaining multiple identities. The digital age makes it easier in some ways, harder in others. What are my options? First, you're not married to her, so that's good. No legal entanglement, but the fraud is significant. She's been using a fake identity to open accounts, potentially commit financial crimes. That's federal territory. And the bigamy? If she'd actually married you, she'd be facing bigamy charges. But since you only got engaged, it's not technically bigamy, just fraud. Still serious. And her husband has grounds for everything from abandonment to theft. What should I do? Document everything. Keep copies of all the evidence. And when you confront her, if you confront her, make sure you're not alone. These situations can escalate. I thanked her. Made an appointment for the following week. Then I called Detective Angela Morrison, no relation to Emily, at the Portland Police Bureau. 23 years on the Force Fraud Division. Mr. Chen, what you're describing is identity fraud at minimum. If she's been using fake documents to open accounts, that's a federal crime. And there's an active missing person case in Minnesota that needs to be closed. Can you help? I can coordinate with Minneapolis PD. If her husband wants to press charges, we can facilitate an arrest. But it would be cleaner if we could get her to come in voluntarily. She won't. The moment she realizes it's over, she'll run. Then we need to move fast. Sarah came home at 6:47 p.m. I know the exact time because I'd been watching the clock for hours, waiting, preparing. James was flying in the next morning. Detective Morrison was ready to coordinate. My lawyer was on standby. All I had to do was keep Sarah from running for one more night. Hey baby, she kissed my cheek, dropped her bag on the counter. How was your sick day? Feeling better? Much better. Good. I was thinking we could order Thai food and watch a movie. Something mindless. Actually, I thought we could talk. She froze, just for a second. Then the mask slid back into place. Sure. About what? About us. About the wedding. I paused. About your family. Her smile didn't waver, but her eyes changed. Went hard. Calculating. What about my family? You never talk about them. I realized I don't even know your parents' names, or if you have siblings. I'm about to marry you, and I don't know anything about where you come from. She sat down across from me, folded her hands. I told you, we're not close. There's not much to tell. Everyone has a story, Sarah. I want to know yours. Why? Why now? Because of what Derek said. Her face went pale. I told you, that was a misunderstanding. I know, but it got me thinking. I don't have any photos of you from before we met. No old friends. No history. It's like you didn't exist before Portland. Some people don't have big pasts, Marcus. Some people just want to move forward. And some people are hiding things. Silence. Her mask was slipping. I could see it. The careful construction of Sarah Thompson starting to crack. What are you saying? I pulled out my phone. Opened the screenshots I'd saved. The wedding photo. The marriage certificate. The driver's license. I turned the screen toward her. I'm saying I need you to explain this. Emily. Her face went through 3 expressions in 2 seconds. Shock. Fear. Then something cold and calculating that I'd never seen before. Where did you get those? Derek. Before you deleted his comment. That's not... I can explain. Then explain. Please. Because right now I'm looking at proof that you're already married to a man named James Chen in Minnesota. That your real name is Emily Morrison. That everything you've told me for 10 months has been a lie. She stood up, backed away from the table. It's not what you think. Then what is it? I left him. James. I left because I wasn't happy. Because the marriage was suffocating me. I needed to start over. You needed to become a completely different person? Fake IDs? Fake name? Stealing $12,000 and disappearing? He would have found me. He was controlling. Obsessive. I had to completely cut ties or he'd never let me go. That's funny, because I talked to James this morning. He didn't sound controlling. He sounded like a man who's been destroyed for 8 months, wondering if his wife was dead. Her expression changed again. The mask fully gone now. You talked to him? He's flying here tomorrow. You called him? You brought him here? Her voice rose. Do you have any idea what you've done? I've done what any decent person would do. I told a man his missing wife is alive and well and engaged to someone else. You don't understand. You don't know what he's really like. I know what you're really like. That's enough. She grabbed her bag from the counter, started toward the door. I'm not staying for this. I'm not going to be ambushed. The police know too. She stopped, hand on the doorknob. They're coordinating with Minneapolis. There's an active missing person case. Fraud charges pending. If you run now, you're running from federal investigators, not just a confused husband. She turned slowly. You're destroying my life. No, Emily, you destroyed your own life. I'm just the one who figured it out. She didn't run. I don't know if it was because she realized she couldn't escape or because she still thought she could talk her way out of it, but she stayed, slept in the guest room, barely spoke. In the morning, James arrived. I met him at the airport. He was younger than I expected, 32, clean cut, the kind of guy you'd trust with your taxes. He looked like he hadn't slept in months. Thank you, he said when he saw me, for calling, for telling me. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. I'm sorry she did this to you too. We drove back to my apartment in silence. Detective Morrison met us in the parking lot. She'd coordinated with Minneapolis. The missing person case would be officially closed. Fraud charges were still being prepared. Is she still inside? Morrison asked. As of an hour ago. Let's go. Emily was sitting on the couch when we walked in. She saw James and her face crumpled. Not guilt, not regret. Just the look of someone whose careful plan had finally fallen apart. Emily, James's voice was raw. 8 months. 8 months I've been looking for you. Thinking you were dead. Thinking something terrible had happened. And you were here, living with someone else. Planning another wedding. James, I'm sorry. Sorry? You're sorry? He was crying now. I loved you. I thought we had a life together and you just erased me. Like I never existed. It wasn't working. We weren't working. You needed to talk to me. To tell me. To give me a chance to understand. Not steal our money and vanish and let me think you were dead. Detective Morrison stepped forward. Mrs. Chen, I need you to come with me. There are questions we need answered and charges pending. Emily stood slowly, looked at me. I did love you, Marcus. That part was real. No, it wasn't. None of it was real. You're not even the person I thought I loved. I could have been. If this hadn't happened, I could have been Sarah forever. That's the problem, Emily. Sarah doesn't exist. She never did. They let her out. No handcuffs. Not yet. Just a firm hand on her arm and a detective on either side. James and I stood in my apartment, surrounded by the debris of my destroyed relationship. I'm sorry, he said again. Me too. What happens now? I don't know. Lawyers, police, paperwork. I looked around, and I guess I need to find a new place to live. This one has too many memories of someone who never existed. The legal proceedings took 6 months. Emily Marie Morrison Chen was charged with identity fraud, financial fraud, and theft. The fake IDs alone were federal crimes. Combined with the $12,000 she'd stolen from James and the $3,200 she'd managed to transfer from our joint account before I caught it, she was looking at serious time. She pleaded guilty to reduced charges. 2 years in federal prison, 5 years probation, full restitution. Her lawyer tried to argue extenuating circumstances, mental health struggles, feeling trapped in her marriage, needing to escape. The judge wasn't sympathetic. Mrs. Chen, you didn't escape a marriage. You abandoned one. And in the process, you defrauded multiple institutions, destroyed 2 men's trust, and committed numerous federal crimes. Your fresh start came at the expense of everyone else's reality. She was led away in handcuffs. I watched from the gallery. So did James. We'd become unlikely friends over the past months, bonded by the shared experience of loving someone who didn't exist. Feel any better? He asked as we left the courthouse. Not really. You? No, but at least it's over. He filed for divorce the next day. It was finalized in 3 months. It's been 2 years now. I moved to a new apartment. New city, actually. Seattle. Fresh start. The kind of fresh start you do honestly with your real name and your real history. I still think about her sometimes. Not Sarah. I know she was never real. But Emily, the woman beneath the mask. I wonder what made her think living a lie was better than facing the truth. What made her believe she could just erase her whole life and start over without consequences? I'll never know. She hasn't reached out. I don't want her to. What I do know is this. Trust is the foundation of everything. And once it's broken, it can never be fully rebuilt. Not with that person. Maybe not with anyone for a long time. I'm dating again. Slowly. Carefully. I ask more questions now. Verify more details. Some people think I'm paranoid. I think I'm just being careful. James remarried last spring. He sent me a photo. Him and his new wife. A woman he met through friends. Real name, real history, real person. Thank you, his message said, for telling me the truth. Even when it was the hardest thing you could have done, you gave me my life back. I gave him the truth. That's all. Sometimes that's enough.